Well, I've got a handful of stuff we're going to shave with tonight. PolSilver blade. That's what I shaved with last night inside this dart from Blackland razor. This is the machined or matte version. A B5 knot from Declaration Grooming inside of a Whip Dog 24mm tall handle. My favorite handle so far. Catie's Bubbles, Spanish Holiday. Have not yet tested this guy out. Nice kind of savory, spicy scent. Not really too much sweet about it. Not a little bit. Something in there. And I've had this for a while and just haven't gotten around to it. So looking forward to that. Catie's Bubbles has great performance. Dollar Tree leather bowl, melamine, kind of V shape. I'm trying that shape out. I'm liking it so far. I am going to hook out. While I tell you this, last night I started and I did 2 passes of shaving. I started the 3rd pass with the dart, and it was starting to get a little rough. It was starting to be irritating. I wasn't really going to be looking forward to finishing the 3rd pass, and most of this is on my neck. And the cheeks would generally be okay. They're more resilient, it's the right shape, it's tighter skin, so that's probably what's going on there. But so here's what a 1/4 teaspoon looks like of this particular Catie's Bubbles soap inside of a bowl. And there's no blade in here. And so I was probably shaving at something like this, and I was picking the angle based on how it felt like it was grabbing. I felt like I was at the angle that gave me the maximum grab. And so with a couple of blades, I was experiencing irritation. PolSilver Persona Comfort Coated. Gillette 7 o'clock black was the worst, and I was not looking forward to that 3rd pass. It was just so rough. Gillette Silver Blue was actually one that did pretty well, even at that particular angle setting, and it was just kind of what I felt like was doing the best cutting. And then last night, during the 3rd pass, I thought, instead of doing my normal angle, let's reduce it a little bit. Of course, what that has the effect of doing is changing. This is the top cap, and this is the bar, the safety bar. And that changes, I'm going to put a little soap there on the razor. It changes how much pressure is put. I was probably putting equal pressure on both with my previous angle. And then when I changed it, it backs the top bar, the top cap a little bit farther away. I was probably still contacting the skin with that angle change, but what it did was it raised the blade just a hair. And I think that's kind of what we want to do, because it's digging in too much and causing irritation at the current maximum bite angle I was going at. And so this shave will feature me trying to get that closer angle. Obviously, if you go too close, then the blade lifts up off the skin totally and you don't get any shaving. So it's going to be a skill to maintain that right angle. But since this razor seems to be right on the edge of my comfort level with aggression, it also may mean that when I hit it right, it gives me a great shave. So that's what we're going for. All right. First thing I'll do is let my brush soak for a little while. Just a few minutes. Just want to get all kinds of water in there so that when the soap comes in, it's got something to be around. All right. This is also a blade. I put an X on the envelope and I put an X on the blade because I'm going to see how many uses I can get out of this blade before it starts pulling. And so there's the X. I think I've got 3 uses out of it now. So we're just starting out. So we're going to put a 4th use on it tonight. I'm going to lift up the base plate off of the head there and put it back. This one of the great things about this razor is that you don't have to worry about alignment. Those 2 side poles, side rods keep the blade perfect. All the blades that I've tried so far. It's terrific. Alright, so that's ready. I'm going to splash my face and then we can start making the lather. Just 1 day of growth. This water here is pretty soft. It's cool. I don't like waiting for warm water. Alright, so the brush did not have very much time to soak, and that's okay. That is alright. We'll roll on. With just that damp brush, after I shook out as much water as I could, we will start working on the soap. And we'll watch and see what the soap does. If it just stays dry and sticky, then we will quickly, it won't take us too long before we stop and add water. Now I've got this one kind of crumbed up a little bit. And so I've got some crumbs floating around. Sometimes that's not good because the crumb doesn't stick to the bowl. And so that makes it more difficult to integrate into the lather. So in essence, you've got soap in there that is not part of your lather. So let's hope that kind of resolves itself. Just not very much lather was building up, and that's okay. That's kind of normal. It's just that there are a few soaps you need to do that to, and let them start to come together without adding water to them first. Yeah, that soap the lather's coming up, and you can smell it. Kind of spicy. It's easy going. It's not spicy like pepper. Just a nice aroma. Spanish holiday. Probably might have had this soap for about a year. Okay, so we'll just kind of go until the water is, we don't have to go until the water is fully integrated. Just mostly. We've already got some lather built up. A lot of times with this brush, it seems to whip up the lather in a more dense result than previous brushes that I've had that maybe aren't quite as dense. Not quite as large. I mean, it's small. It's the smallest Badger loft that I have. And so a lot of times I don't need to go farther than the 2 teaspoons for whatever reason. So we'll just see how this looks. This brush also is teaching me that I need to do that finger test more than just notice how it looks. A lot of times I'll put a little bit, hydrate it a little too much because it looks too firm. But Just kind of rubbing a little bit of the lather between fingertips, paying attention to how I feel my fingerprint and that sort of thing. Helps me to stop at a better time. I think I got my finger in it there. That's all right. Yeah, like right now, this looks, in the past, this would be too dry. Look at all the kind of the mountain peaks, and that's very fixed. It's not moving, and in the past that would be too dry. But let's just get a little bit of it. Yeah, let's go further with that. That still needs a little bit more. Man, Catie's Bubbles is another good maker that's just got so many good scents that I like. I don't go for the floral ones, but fortunately they have a bunch that aren't in that genre. So now we've got 2.5 teaspoons of water in. I did notice a couple of the little soap pieces that are still not integrated yet. May not be able to worry about them. I just have to roll on anyway. Thankfully, we can see the lather is building up, and it looks like there'll be plenty for the shave, I think. Now let's take a look at the quantity of lather that we have. Maybe one passes in the bowl. A big old amount is on the... Normally this is too rigid. Look at those peaks. They are just not moving very much. It's pretty solid. So let's test it. There's a little bit of soap. I'm going to press that into the wall right there. Yeah, let's go ahead and stop now then. And rinse my face one more time. All right. What this is, not a lot of this scent is really speaking to me in terms of, ooh, I really like that. It's just interesting. This is the kind of scent that might be something that takes me places, you know. I could see it almost be like a cologne type scent as well. Now we've done the scrub for a little bit, we'll switch to painting. The scrubbing usually empties out the center of the brush, and then the soap gathers on the outside. Switch to the painting, and now you have access to that outside soap. All right, now, same blade I used yesterday, same razor. Let's carefully watch the angle and see if I can just have much less irritation than I did yesterday. kind of being a little scrapey for me. Let's switch and ride the top cap. Maybe the scrapiness is nice if you are if you've already taken down a lot of the hair with the first pass. So I'm switching back to my old method for the first pass. Could also try to ride the top cap a little bit, open the angle more. This is where I can get into trouble. This skin is so grabby. There we go. That's a better angle. That's a better way to attack that portion of the skin. All right. Got it. All right, a little rinse. Felt a little, yeah, got a little tiny nick right up there. All right. Second pass. Left my face kind of wet. Helped to add a little bit more water to the lather. Look pretty thin right now because I haven't switched to the painting. Now that I switch, all that lather gets pushed back onto my face. There we go. Scent strength is maybe a 4 out of 10, I would say. All right, now I'm going to focus on that closed angle now that the growth has been taken down in general. We'll see what happens. Cross grain pattern. Treacherous ground over that way. Not pulling at all. That was fairly comfortable. I did kind of catch a little skin over here. Don't really see any bleeding or anything out because I was being very careful. I believe I just kind of caught it but didn't dig in. So that's fine. All right. There we go for a second pass. Rinse. Not rinsing everything off. Just kind of most of it. All right, now third pass. Don't even really need to paint very much. I'm sorry, scrub very much. Get a little bit more. Sometimes I envy you guys without goatees to shave around, because you can just let the brush just go, and you can use the big brushes and just all around. All right. So I feel good about that second pass. Tiny little bit of irritation somewhere over here. Maybe it's that little ding I got right there. But that is very much better than how I felt at the end of the second pass yesterday. You know what? I think a lot of the trouble comes when I try to shave this area over here from this down to this, and I think this corner of the world likes it better when it's from the bottom to the top. Good to know. An aggressive razor like this one, at least it's aggressive to my skin, can help you learn those kinds of things, when a mild razor is not going to bother you and not teach you those, not show you that that exists. Yeah, this is a much nicer shave. I'm not dreading this third pass at all. Not even dreading a fourth pass. So the only question left is, has this, have I lifted the blade away from my skin so that I'm not getting a good result, but I'm getting comfort? So we'll see that after the fourth neck pass. So a little bit of rinse. All right. Habitually start up on my cheek. I didn't really need to. Very nice. So, 3 passes, a neck only pass, and I've got probably a pass worth there and a pass worth there. So, quarter teaspoon gives me plenty of lather, so I could maybe put in a little bit less than a quarter teaspoon. Probably be fine. I like that economy of soap. All right, 4th pass. Now, in some cases, I'm pulling the razor across areas and I'm not hearing any hair cut. And one of the things I can do there is raise my handle a little bit and see if it starts to grab something. Oh yeah, that's a much better way to shave that area. That is the right thing to do. So that's interesting. It was a little awkward for the first pass to use the closed-in angle because, I don't know, that angle was not conducive for the longer hairs. But I feel very good. Now I wouldn't be surprised if I were to nick myself because, I mean, this thing does feel that way, but I feel very confident about it. And so there, yeah, this is the way to go with this razor, at least for my skin. Maybe not for yours, but for mine. If you've got tougher skin than me, you may not have a problem staying in that spot that's really grabbing a lot of hair. If you've got more sensitive skin than me, then you may not want to pick up one of these. All right. So the Catie's Bubbles did a great job. Kind of an odd name, but manly men shaving with, razors and blades, and some people even use a straight razor to shave, and they shaving with a product named Catie's Bubbles, right? But oh, that's right. I think the owner told me maybe that he named it after his daughter, something like that. Go for it. That's awesome. Okay. So I'm going to pause you while I take a better look. Looks like I was being a little too conservative with this area right here. But in general, everywhere else, it's tremendous. Really happy. Comfort level is there. A little tiny bit of irritation, like a 1 out of 10 down here. I don't even feel the thing up here anymore. So let's use a little bit of that lather that's remaining and see if we can get this area right here. And this is common stuff. This is the area that I've been fighting for a long time to try to figure out the right technique. So if the Dart has a problem with it, he's in good company. I want to do a little bit more skin stretching. Increase my angle until I can kind of feel and hear the hairs being cut. Not go down too far. All right, let's not rejoice too quickly. Somehow it's hard to see the hairs as they remain until after you rinse. I don't know why. So I see a little bit of length and a couple of hairs. 2, 3 maybe. The rest of them, I just see the tips, and that is excellent for that area of my skin. So I think I definitely found a way to enjoy the Dart. The comfort is there. Let us whip out the Old Faithful. This is a wonderful post-shave balm because it's available everywhere. It's only a little over $5. And it's good. It's effective. It's got good ingredients. I think it smells decent. And it's very hydrating. There are some that are better, but they're like twice as expensive. I think it's a great value. And you can get this at anywhere they have shave stuff usually. The drugstores, Walmart, you can get it on Amazon. Just, you can overpay for it, so be careful. If it's, I think there's a 3-pack for about $15, and that's the good value. Something around $5 a piece. Don't pay too much more than that. So there we go. The shave is done, and skin feels great. This is a razor that's right on the edge of my comfort zone in terms of aggression, and I just shaved with it and feel great. I feel maybe 2 out of 10 in terms of just a little irritation in a couple areas, but that's the kind of stuff that goes away in about 10 minutes. So I'm really happy about that. I want to start cleaning up. So in terms of this soap, this is not the kind of scent that I usually choose. I like the leather, a little bit of tobacco, sandalwood, other kinds of woody scents. And I'm really glad to have this because it something a little bit different than my norm. It smells great. It's I believe that it has a nice scent that stays within the masculine realm, because there's some earthy or something in there. Maybe there's some woody notes in there. Yeah. Let's see, does this? Oh yeah. Sweetened rosewood with hints of coriander and musk is how they describe it on the tub. And I did detect a little bit of floral before, but see, it's being offset a little bit, and so this doesn't reek of feminine florals. And so, but that rosewood, I love it when they do add the florals together with some woody bases. That kind of are playing with the florals in a kind of an egalitarian role. Is that a word? They're playing equally instead of so many soaps where the florals are just up here and everybody that's the main scent you get, and the woods are just in the background. So this is terrific. I wonder if they would classify this as a fougere, and because of that. I don't really know what coriander smells like. And that manly musk is there as well. It's just really nice. A well thought out, well blended soap, in my opinion. So we put down another use out of the PolSilver, and I'm really happy with the result. Oh look, we've got a little weeper right there. That's a place where I've had them before. And I am on the tail of a few days of very rough shaves because I hadn't yet figured out the angle for the dart. All right, I'm a happy man. That was good. This is the machined version, and so it's supposed to have these machining marks, like on the bottom of the base plate there. That's just part of the character that this particular iteration of the dart has associated with it. He's going to release he plans to release a polished version, which I'm sure is just going to be gorgeous. I thought he said in the summer. So maybe it's a few months away. I don't know. Yeah, so there's kind of the machine marks. If you look longitudinally, you can kind of see that it's not a flat mat. Now the handle is more consistent in terms of a matte or kind of a brushed finish. It's a gorgeous handle. And so I think it's kind of neat to, because the machined version just kind of has some character to it. Of course, it's solid stainless steel, so if you get it and you want to polish it up, you can. People have done it, and or you could just shine it up a little bit with some metal polish or something like that. And remember that would void your returns. He's got a very nice 30-day return window for these guys, but if you alter it, then that's out the window. Nice choice of words, right? So tremendous. The edge of the head right here is a pretty sharp corner. It's an edgy corner. It's not sharp. I'm not gonna cut myself. It's just a harsh corner. Let's say that. And the end cap does have some harshness on the and sharpness, because it comes to a point here. It's almost like a knife edge in a sense. Think butter knife right here, but the corner is a little bit more rough. If I press that down hard, I might be able to cut through my skin, but that would require intention and effort. So I'm really happy with the fit and finish. The handle's gorgeous, and now I've figured out a way to enjoy this razor and have comfort afterwards with a nice close shave. How much water did we end up using? You probably remember it was 2.5 teaspoons, and that was for a 1/4 teaspoon of lather. And I'm thinking we had about 1 pass left over after we did the 3 full, 1 neck only, and then a little touch up. I remember last year poring over this description because something spoke to me about this particular soap, but the rosewood was something that held me back a little bit, because you never know what percentage an ingredient is when it just is listed on the label. And if the rose was too strong, then I wasn't going to be interested in it at all. But it worked out really well. The rose is not a strong player. It's there in a supportive role, in my opinion, at least to my nose. And it plays it nicely. It helps the whole scent package out. And as a matter of fact, if you didn't tell me this was rosewood or rose, I don't know that I would be able to tell you that it was. I might think in the beginning, maybe this has a little floral component to it. And that's where I like my soaps that do have that floral piece to it. Just a well put together formula. Well done. Well done. It's just it's intriguing. Helps you to appreciate some pieces that may be out of your own comfort zone. So not comfort zone, but just slightly different than your usual track. I really appreciate that. I'm going to throw in some aftershave splash, and I have the original Old Spice right here. I like it a lot. And there's musk in here and some spices, and I think it will go well with the Spanish holiday. That's nice. Both of these are just well thought out profiles. Just very, very nice. What this is accomplishing, kind of in my mind, reminds me of Barrister and Mann Cologne Russe. And it was patterned after a popular Russian aristocratic or royal cologne or fragrance that was made a long time ago. And it's same way, very sophisticated, well thought out, not in my typical vein, but just wonderful to appreciate, and kind of takes you places when you use it. So really glad I picked this one up when I did. Very good. And the Old Spice, to me, seems like it matches it pretty well. At least complements it, let's put it that way. So I believe I've told you how I feel about all these things. Really happy about the dart. So the PolSilver looks like it's a good blade in the dart for me. Doesn't give me baby butt smooth, but I can't go against the grain. My neck doesn't like it. And so this is usually about the best that I get. Sometimes I'll have that little perfect shave where it's all flush, but that's rare. And but I'll bet this is the kind of razor that could maybe get me there. Just keep trying different blades and see which one really agrees with my own skin. And I'll go ahead and say blades are very much a subjective thing in this world of shaving that we have. Just because the PolSilver works well for me in this, it may not work well for you at all. It may be great for you. I can't say. Nobody can say. So get a sampler, try a bunch of them out. So I hope there was something here for you, something good for you to learn or just experience, and hope it helps you. That's it. Sugar Daddy Shaves. I'm all done. Time to go to bed. Take care and have a good night.